本视频由Gintell赞助播出。Where's the stuff?
The one that everyone.
What stuff?
The stuff you promised us lah.
Everyone said they
Wow.
want
DSAI. Many people comment.
Yeah, they want to come.
Today I don't bring
Ah.
DSAI, yeah.
You janji tak boleh.
But I bring someone as good as him.
Oh.
Yes.
Who? Yeah! Thank you, Ken Chong, the communication director of PKR, who brings our guest, Dr. Wan Aziza.
Can we call you Kak Wan?
Of course, go ahead.
Alright. So nice of you.
I have a lot of respect for you, seriously.
Kak Wan is actually the first female deputy prime minister in Malaysian history ever.
She has been leading our country and also PKR when Anwar is not around.
Since reformasi, she's always there lah. So taking care of her family and also leading Malaysian democracy. Until today, she's still here.
Usually we ask a lot of harsh questions, but today
we cannot do so.
So we ask someone else
to ask for us.
Yeah, which is our friends, a lot of influencers. They will ask.
Okay, so let's go to the first Rusia.
Hello Puan, saya nak tanya sebab Malaysia ada banyak Perdana Menteri, especially in these 2 years lah, banyak. Boleh pilih 3 you rasa yang handsome punya sama saya.
You pakai filter kot, sebab tu handsome.
So yeah, what's your
very
opinion?
Quality questions for our Chinese community.
Saya tak kisah kalau lawa ke tak lawa. Pada saya, hati mesti bagus. Baik hati dan juga care for the people.
But you have to choose one lah.
Who is the most
handsome one?
Most handsome one, of course, Anwar Ibrahim.
So sweet. Alright.
Next minister.
Next prime minister.
So we're going to the second question.
Kak Wan, saya nak tanya, you rasa mana punya nasi lemak lah, all Malaysia lah, paling you suka punya, sebab I nak pergi try.
Wow, very quality question again.
Nasi lemak ke? Satunya dia tak healthy sangat tau.
Is it?
Tapi saya nak share. Kalau you nak buat nasi lemak, you masak nasi semua, you jangan tahu santan. You just tahu VCO, virgin coconut oil. Dekat habis tu bila dah kering, you tahu 2 tablespoons of virgin coconut oil, you tahu daun pandan sikit, tahu serai sikit.
Wow.
Recipe kawan.
Recipe kawan.
The best nasi lemak boleh afford lah. Kau tak boleh afford, dah best ke tak best ke tak boleh beli mak, macam mana mai? Lapar juga. So whatever is affordable, that is the best nasi lemak for everybody.
So the one that can eat by all Malaysian will be the best one. Stupid question, brilliant answer. Alright. So you say about affordable. You talk about economic now.
And our cost of living
is actually getting terrible. So we have another one to raise out the issue for us. Let's see.
Hey yo, I would like to bring you to shopping, jalan-jalan jap, to let you see in Kuala Lumpur, this city, for a normal housewife, how much does we need, you know, for all the household items yang basic je, for the cost of living je, to survive je, tak ada branded stuff, tak ada jenama punya.
This one not basic ah.
Tak ada, semua barang keperluan, tak penuh pun kat ni tengok. This is what I bought, and you see, I would like to ask you, can you estimate how much does this cost? Just small bag. It's 250 ringgit Malaysia for this small bag. I'm a mother of 3 children. That's why I'm really worried about this is, you know, for nowadays, those young people, they are disagree to study further, to study more. They having lack of interest in study because they don't think that it's a great way for them to earn money. You know, because the cost of living in a city is too high for them. For a fresh grade degree holder, they can get only maybe 3,000. Everything is growing abnormally. Exclude the gaji, exclude the salary. It make them feel can say hopeless, you know. That's why there's a lot of young people
Very sad.
they are disagree
But
to
the face is very funny.
continue study after SPM. So I would like to ask, what can the government do? What can Pakatan Harapan do to help our next generation, to help the youngster, to help the kids?
Wow, now
wow.
we get to the serious question.
It's a very long question.
Which is true. One thing is that the cost of living for many things have gone up. And then what she said about maybe food security and what you basic things that you need. These are all things that you can get from the supermarket. If you don't have the money to buy, and the power of buying is gone. I try very hard now to get some, especially after PKP, grow our own vegetables, some food that we can have. We talk about food security, not the milk part and all that, but still the other parts where you can try to help in lowering the cost of living. So I have a concept of what they call kebun kawan. You can plant things in a poly bag, and then you have the flats. Kalau you have a lot of flats and all that, if there's a small plot of land and all the community try to get some planting of some food there. The idea of urban farming, self-sufficiency, and how you grow your own food in food security. Tetapi yang lain itu is that the government has to have a certain way of controlling food items, controlling basic items, because she said some. She also took some washing detergent
laundry,
and all these sort of things that you need in everyday life, kan?
Any intervention or policy that you guys cannot, because we cannot always plant our own food, country
It's
must
like,
do something, Any
tough,
things
man.
that maybe you guys can share a little bit.
I think the economic and the industrial policy needs to be relooked at. The current Prime Minister, which is like doing almost nothing on our economic direction. We are all directionless. We don't know where to send our kids to for their further studies because we don't set a 5-year, 10 years economic plan, and we do not transform our industry. We are still stuck in the past with palm oil and gas, where the rest of the world they have moved on with renewable energy, with more food security program. I think all these have to be looked at.
I remember the NFC problem where we were supposed to have cows, but they all ended up in condos, you know. They had plans, but because of corruption, because of leakages, because of all these things that there is no good governance and no political will to pull through all these things, we end up into this mess.
Yeah.
So that is one of the things that we want to get out of our country, out of that rut. But she also alluded to the fact that youngsters nowadays do not want to continue their studies because if you are grad pun gaji rendah, you know, it's small, you don't earn so much. And then also some graduates are
jobless.
They're jobless. That's one thing that we have to address. Where they have to get more jobs and all that. But so a lot of them say, "Oh, never lah, I become a Grab driver, a Panda, whatever, delivery boy, or girl." But that is considered a gig economy, and you may get some money now. Maybe 3,000, 4,000, more, 4,000, 5,000 pay. But that will be your pay for the rest of your life. You will not have an upgrade. You don't have an ascending way of career path. So these are things that you have to look into the matter. And people must know that, education is very important. For the Chinese, when I first learned, Chinese education is very important.
Yes.
When a Chinese comes to a kampung, first thing they build is a school.
Sure. We raise funds.
We say 再穷不能从家.
And then I just want to share a bit lah. I know he also set up school for dropouts. Those days lah. When you drop out, you become a farm attendant and all that. He will go there and say, "Hey, you tak ada sekolah ke? So you can come to this school. It's a night school." Those days lah. Now of course it's all online. You're right. Education you have to address, and the government has to look into the matter. But it has to be a wholesome sort of answer and solution to this.
Apart from all the different angles that Kawan has brought, it goes back to the keyword which is called productivity of our economy. So through education, through modern farming, and through having food security programs, we have to elevate our productivity so that our youth can enjoy higher wages, and also they can also escape from poverty. Now we are having poverty not just in rural areas, but also in urban. The urban poverty problems will continue to entrap if the House of cost of living is getting more expensive. Our housing prices keep rising, and the youth will be like what the madam say. I mean, we have no future. Go to Singapore.
So what will be the next direction Pakatan Harapan offer?
The next one, as outlined in our manifesto aspirations or the Tawaran, is about economic upgrading through TVET. And TVET is education is the single best way to improve the productivity of our workers. And just like what Datuk Sri Anwar has done on providing night classes and all that, to enrich that person, we should continue to do so. Provide high value training to our younger generation, so that they can get the work with higher gaji. And talking about economic development, we are now looking into a few PM candidates, and to me, we need to really get the best candidate to run our economy and to lead our country's development. And Anwar Ibrahim has been named as the best Minister of Finance in the 90s. I remember those times economics was growing very well, and the people are also, having hope for their future. So we need to rejuvenate our economy. He has a good network of economic experts to assist, and he has wide international networks in terms of getting FDIs. So I think now if we compare to other candidates, I'm not naming whom, it seems like he is the outstanding one.
Anwar Ibrahim is the only finance minister in our country to pay back before our debt, national debt. So this is important. And he talked about urban, affordable, low-cost housing. That was it, and that was part of. I go to the flats, especially in Bandar Terazak. I say, oh, ini Anwar. Lepas tu dia tak ada dah. That sort of thing. So these are things that the spirit and the value of a good leader is unforgettable. I don't think it's timeless.
All right.
Let's get to another question. 开拍啊！太舒服了！来。没错，各位，今天要为大家介绍的就是这一款长相非常酷炫、很像跑车这样子的 Gintell 全新 S9 超能按摩椅。Gintell 已经有26年专业设计按摩椅的经验，在全马有112家分行，甚至在越南、新加坡、文莱、柬埔寨也共有30多家以上的连锁店。那这一台 S9 超能按摩椅有什么不同呢？不同就在于它的分工非常的仔细，上半身专门为按摩头、颈、肩和背设计的，而下半身专门负责按摩你的腰、臀和腿。这就是全马首款唯一搭配6D 双机芯科技的按摩椅，还搭配72个全身包裹式的气囊系统，给你一种被拥抱在按摩里面满满的安全感的舒服。他们的系统还可以让你享受到传统按摩手法当中的拍打、揉捏、指压等等的技巧，还有鼎鼎大名的 Master Qiuwen1014 设计的大师拉筋功能，足不出户就可以享受到专业按摩师的按摩手法，好像3双手一次过帮你按摩这样。当然要选就选最高端的 S9 按摩椅，因为它还有 AI 声控智能系统，你平时在做的按摩手法，它都会帮你记下来，只要一声 Hi Gintell， 它就可以为你。现在Gintell还有买1送1的配套优惠，这一台原价49988，现在只需要25988，而且还会送你多一台价值10988的 Devano Lux 按摩沙发。这款 S9 超能按摩椅包你满意，因为他们很自信，如果你3天内不满意的话，可以全额退款哦，真的很划算。为了实现 One Home One Gintell 理念，他们还有高达36个月分期付款的服务，每个月只需要拨721.89令吉就可以购买到这个优惠，舒缓你的身心灵啦！赶快点击下面的链接，买一台送给你家里的长辈跟父母，孝顺他们吧。
All right.
Let's get to another question from our influence.
Assalamualaikum. My name is CCY. I'm currently in Taiwan, but don't worry, I will be voting in Taiwan for the GE15. Alright, there's 2 main factors that make me don't feel like want to work in Malaysia. First, movie cinema industry in Malaysia is not very supportive by the country in terms of the money support, and I think to create a good movie, freedom of speech is it's very important. But I think this is what Malaysia is lack of. Second, safety in Malaysia is not so good. 3 years ago, I kena rompak in Malaysia and I go to report police. The police officer look at me and say, "Hey yo, you besar sangat. Kenapa tak lawan balik?" I was like, what? I don't think this is what a police officer should say. Oh my god. I really love Malaysia a lot, and I hope this wonderful place can be better. These two main factors, freedom of speech in movie industry and safety in Malaysia. If one have any plan to make a change for these two, thank you very much.
Thank you very much. This is one of the quotes that I know lah. There is freedom of speech, but there's no freedom after speech.
Right.
But you know, you're right. There's certain things, but the only thing is that we've always been given the answer that we are different races and we are hot pot of a lot of things. And any provocation is something that is not very good for us. That's all. So we have to be a bit careful about the sensitivities of each other. That is the only thing.
All right.
But to say the truth, in the time of injustice is actually very good for us. That's different, you know. But not to provoke to, you know, you all like this, this one because of Chinese lah, this one because of Malay, so lazy lah. That one, I think there are certain things that you have to have boundaries to talk about. Film industry, of course, we want Malaysia to be one of the things, because now you look at Indonesia, you look at other places where the film industry has come up. So we also have to support our local talent pool, and I think we'll have to look at that matter. And the other thing that he asked is that crime, yes. I'm sorry that the policeman did that to you, you know, and say that. If you go to a police station, I went last time, you know, they still have typewriters. I went to the part where the sexual crimes for children and all that, child protection. They are so understaffed. So these are things that you have to look into the matter.
It's a structural problem.
Yeah.
The lack of manpower.
Also bad attitude also, that's wrong. But anyway, just to tell you that, of course, crime. But there's a difference between, if you look in the reports, you know, sometimes people steal a tin of Milo just to get by. If you are hungry, that's different. We actually have the what is doable is a food bank. We have a food bank where people can give and then you can then distribute it to people. This one you don't have to pay, but people actually give a lot. So we have a lot of these things that has been going around the food bank that we help people, especially when during PKP with the white flag.
All right.
Yeah. We can give them something because they are so desperate. But crime, in other words, is like surveillance, and then how enforcement, and then you take you have to have certain you catch the real big guys, man. Don't catch the small fish.
Any words from Gintell?
And I think he also mentioned that crimes, right? There are many types of crimes. About smart crimes, I think we also have to be serious on it. Now, a lot of online scams and also internet scams. I think they are prepared, and it's a big syndicate. So everything is well planned and they have the technology. So in this part, I think the government also needs to upgrade the capability on surveillance, on prevention, and working together with Bank Negara and the banking system to make sure our money now, you don't get, I mean, it's not stolen like in front of you, but it's through your bank accounts. So all this must also be taken into consideration. And we do welcome him to come back to Malaysia.
Come back lah.
We need more talents on.
He's a very good creator.
Yeah. Come back lah.
We need people like you, okay? Malaysia is still a good place.
All right.
We are here.
All right, next one.
Hello， 你好，我是修文。我们都知道马来西亚的环保做的不是那么的全面。如果是你执政的话，你会做出怎么样的政策？
It's very important, our environment, because we're talking about climate change and how the sea levels have risen and the temperature has gone up, typhoons and storms and floods and all that. So these things you have to take into consideration. Environmental laws are something, but the implementation of it is also something. The enforcement, you know.
Right.
I mean, we have a lot of this encroaching into our hutan simpan, you know, and a lot of our timber has been, you know, taken and stolen, you know. It's also corruption lah. You bagi the guy, you know, jaga-jaga, you know. But you can actually monitor them, and you can actually take all this satellite imaging. Nowadays you can have the drones and all that.
Technology.
Yeah, you can use it to enhance all this protection of our environment.
Okay, actually, I agree with Qiuwen. Just now you shared a lot about like how to change a policy, how to do the law. But in Malaysia, we always see we are lacking in the implementations. The leaders talk only, never do one. Yeah, so how actually can you tell us like usually how can we make sure that you guys are monitoring the things going on?
Just share you a bit of experience now. I do have in my Ministry of Women, Family and Development, we have a Talian Kasih, it's actually a hotline.
Alright.
Where you have a problem, you just call the hotline. I was given a report, so I during a meeting when I chaired, I actually called the hotline.
Oh.
Then so that I want to show that if they're not working, but then actually, thank God, I'm very impressed because they have the operators on call. They answered about the third ring, and then they said that this is actually a recorded message first lah. I said that our lines are busy. Our operators will attend to your call, and then they said, but this call is recorded for purposes of if you want to have any legal implications. Then after about 10 to 20 seconds, and a rail operator comes in. So I thought that not only them, you are the victim, and then you call and somebody picks up your call and help out. But the person who picks up the call too, I think also needs our attention and our care. So I actually went to see them. They are housed in a room, quite close together with a lot of these phones where they answer.
They become impatient.
Well, then they're quite alright. It's just that's why you have to look after them and their welfare so that they can then extend that feeling of care and effectiveness to the people who call them.
Alright, so leaders need to go down to the field to make sure
leaders
everything
have to
goes.
check have to spot check sometimes.
Alright, okay, good.
So I think bring the care, right, the caring and your passion to other people. I think that's what Qiuwen meant. I think it's also important that back to the environmental protection and the monitoring, we need good people. I mean, my experience in Pahang is that we have good policy. We have how many hundreds of acres of forest reserve. When we go down, it's all gone because we don't have good people to set the right implementation and monitoring.
So who is the good people?
We leave the audience have their own answer.
Alright, okay.
Alright, so we go to another question.
Hi YB, nice to meet you here. I'm Cheryl. It's my pleasure to ask you some questions. I'm a TV host, also a stand-up comedian. I'm having my stand-up show in this coming December, so if you understand Cantonese, please come and join us.
Understand that?
Alright, what I'm trying to say is I think pandemic tremendously affected the entertainment industry. But the government is imposing entertainment tax as 15% from ticketed sales. I would like to ask that, do you think local artists and performers, talents are struggle enough to survive? And do you think that 15% cut is quite high? It's not from the profit though, it's from the revenue. What do you think the government can do to encourage and elevate the entertainment industry? So that's all from me. All the best for the next GE.
It's a niche sector, entertainment sector in Malaysia.
Niche,
quite
but
niche.
It involves a lot of people because we all need entertainment.
I agree that you need entertainment, especially now. In a sense, we are all under pressure. COVID, PKP, and stuff like that. So we all like in a pressure cooker. Chancho was telling me about how the rate of suicide has gone up to 81%. So this is a real problem. So I think entertainment is one of the way out. So I think the government should think about how to help and boost our entertainment industry. 15%, it's a bit steep. So especially when you say it's from the revenue and not from the profit. And struggling artists, should be given the chance and the encouragement to actually go into this industry and help promote. But how to get that one, I think you need people who are experts to think of how to get that. True. If you have someone who is, then you're given all the backing and all that will really help boost our country, as well as the industry and entertainment industry, as well as help the community to get out of the depression, the whatever the mental anxiety that they go through, So I think this is a great help, and I think we have to think of our policy, get the experts, to think. I'm not going to give you an answer because I can't commit without meeting with the whole of the society. I mean
because it's very niche. It's very niche. Yeah.
But good to know that, because sometimes we hear some parties say entertainment is not for Malaysia.
It's a sin. We have to ban all the concert.
We have to ban concert.
Yeah. But actually, everybody needs. And I want to ask Ken Chong, because Ken Chong is contesting in PJ, and PJ is actually known as the art central of Selangor and even in Malaysia. Yeah, so do you have any ideas how can we make our arts and entertainment industry better?
Thank you for bringing this issue up. It's very serious, and I think we should all look into it. But at the same time, we should also look at the stage of development of our entertainment industry.
All right.
A lot of performers, artists are still struggling at this stage, and our economic, the size of this industry is still very small compared to like Korea or Japan or other countries. So why impose such a huge and heavy tax when the industry still fail to grow to a very, comfortable size? So the government should groom the industry instead of, taking a big cut from the industry. Groom it until it's matured. It's also competitive. We can also export some of the contents to other countries. Then by then we start taxing. I think people would be fine. Back to PJ, it's a very thriving and a very diverse community. I think we treasure and we appreciate each other there so much. Then we also have a lot of performance in different languages. Yeah, we all should cherish that this is Malaysia, and we are together to appreciate all the performance, all the shows that are done by so many fantastic people like you.
We did a comedy show, so
you're also a performer.
So friends, we deliver your message already.
Right. Sure. So last one, we got the biggest guest.
Most supreme star. The most famous influencer among all.
Oh yeah.
So who is he?
We don't know.
Let's see the VCR.
Okay.
Hi Kawan, I have a very important question for you, which is, Anwar really cannot come up. No. I want to ask, we know that you and your family have been sacrificed a lot for Malaysia and for our democracy for all these years. But still yet, many people are still saying Malaysia is hopeless, all the politicians is just the same, all the party is, for their own goods only. So how do you feel about this kind of comments? Would you feel demotivated? Or have you ever regret? If you are given another chance, will you still choose the same pathway?
Thank you very much.
Thank you for this superstar. All right.
Thank you very much. I never chose to be a politician, but I have hope for my country. And when the time comes, I think all of us have the potential to, fight for the goodness of our country and the goodness of Malaysians in general. And I will not change. And you say that all politicians are the same. They haven't met me, meh? In person. Anyway, and also I think we all can make politics good and accountable and clean. And it's not just for the position, I never asked for this position, but I got this position because I thought that, if it is good, you go along and you want to bring the country better, a lot of people will then support you. And then you say that no hope, there must be hope, because whatever it is, you have your future, okay? And whoever has betrayed us, have left. So let us all be together. You may not be, 100%, but the bulk of it, the most important core, must be good. So that's how I look at it. You must have hope. I share with you, in 1998, I was very sad. I never, because when Anwar became a minister, he told me, Chen Chong, you are not a minister, jangan kacau, okay? So that was, and So when this happened, I had no idea. I can't even speak properly. I'm a doctor. You know, that's one thing. I want to heal. I want to help. I want to make things better so that we all have diseases or we are not very healthy. We want to be healthy. So that's how we look at it. But the one that motivated me, you know, I'm a mother of 6 children. And after a night of drama and all that, I go back and see them asleep at night. So helpless. Mom has to be strong. Alright? Malaysians are strong. Kita boleh. Kita akan ada tenaga dan ruang untuk kita berdepan dengan semua yang salah. So I think the core of human value is so important that you have to continue and gilap, you know, shine or polish the goodness of people. Because all of us have a bit of goodness, a bit of badness, but you don't, you know, you have to clean that, wash your knee, then you become a better person. Thank you, Sesame. Terima kasih.
Well said.
Thank you, Lucas.
Thank you so much for coming to our show. Thank you, Gintell. Thank you, Qiuwen. And that's a very
meaningful sharing.
Yes.
If Qiuwen since 1998 and until now also she hasn't give out, I don't think we have a reason to give out.
Yeah. So let's go out and vote.
Okay, go out and vote. Thank you everyone for watching.
Thank you so much.